Hello, I'm Fisi.
And I'm Ycoms. And together we are hashtag
FisChris Underdog Squad. And welcome to a new series on both mine and Ycoms' channel with league racing in the AOR PC Split 1 league for season 13. We have decided to team up for this season. Chris has moved, well, Ycoms, aka Chris. I'm going to keep calling him Chris because that is what is natural for me at this point in time. So he's moved over from racing in the Xbox League last season, season 12, and has now joined me on the PC platform, which I'm very happy about.
I'm very happy as well. I think we will have, a great time together. Well, we already had in this race because, race already happened. But I think we will both ignore your first round and that I was not there, and just start from scratch, I guess, for the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is normally a very, very good track for both of us.
Yeah, it is actually round 2, but we'll treat it as round 1 because my Australian race was horrendous and you weren't even there because you were on holiday. So we're gonna jump into the race here in Bahrain, first with a cheeky qualifying comparison and then for some racing action, and let's see how it goes.
So here we go, around the Bahrain International Circuit. Unsurprisingly, you can see two Manor cars. On the left hand side is me, and on the right hand side it's Fisi, as we are opening up the DRS for this very, very long main straight up into 8th gear, spotting the braking point on the left hand side. 150 meter board is the marker we are taking there. I'm locking up into turn 1, going a little bit more deep than Fisi does, and he has a better exit out of that first section of the
Ooh, I'm actually slightly ahead of this point, which I was not expecting actually. I haven't seen this comparison until now, and there we go, turning the apex of turn 4. Both of us taking that relatively nicely, I think, and now into the high speed of 5 and 6. Very tricky to get a nice line through here. I think, again, we're pretty similar actually, and heavy braking down to first gear for both of us briefly for the slow right-hander. Then, of course, into the most difficult, probably, corner on the circuit, Chris, turn 10.
Yeah, definitely. We can also see some different brake bias usage from both of us. Apart from that, the setups were actually equal. I think we both had similar exits out of there, but I think now I'm maybe a tenth ahead or something as we go now into turn 11. You're hitting the apex a little bit better there than me, and also carrying a little bit more speed out of there. And now it's only one sector to go.
Yeah, I was surprised at how well I'm matching you actually, but you hit that apex better than me. So I think this is where you're going to make the time up in the 3rd sector if you are going to beat me on this lap. So into the final corner, heavy braking down to 3rd gear, and both of us clunking the curb a little bit, both of us also correcting oversteer a tiny bit and run towards the line. Let's see. Yeah, definitely you have gained a bit of time with me there, crossing the line just ahead. So not too far apart actually in qualifying there, but here we go, qualifying. Actually, our times weren't too far apart, only 2 tenths between us, but 6 positions separating, which is quite a lot.
It was quite a scrap from P4 down to chicane P15 really. It was only still within 9 tenths of pole position, but it was RC Fabres actually taking pole position. A little bit surprising there in front of Nick B, who missed out on the thing last time. I think we're just going to continue here for the strategies. You can see my screen here first. That's my strategy plan actually for the race. Super soft, soft, medium. Maybe switching that around, and for you, soft, soft, medium, soft, super soft, because you're starting on fresh tires. Yeah,
obviously you qualify inside the top 10. You're going to have to start on the super soft tires to qualify them. So whereas I do get a little bit of a benefit. I'm kind of happy that the other drivers knocked me out of the top 10. I mean, I'd rather generally be 11th or 12th on the grid than 9th or 10th, just because of the fresh tire start. So I mean, you up in 6th, I would probably rather be in the top 6 than back down in 12th, but still, at least I guess to start a fresh tire.
Yeah, I think we're both in reasonable position to start this race, and hopefully, main goal for this race is definitely to do better than you did last week and score some points, I guess.
Shouldn't be too hard.
So here we go then, we got 5 laps for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and they are radically on board with me for the start of this race. A little bit of wisdom from Bahrain actually, up in front, but we're going into turn 1.
That's close! Oh my god, your wing is still intact, I think, just about there. Oh my word, and you've been bish-boshing all over the place through the first corner.
Yep, it's very well on the exit as well. For yep, that's it.
And Chris has been absolutely spun to China. So, yeah, and then I'm getting swarmed as well into turn 4. So I've lost a couple of positions actually just through that corner from where I started, and even more to be honest, because I obviously gained a position on you and the other car that went up with you. So that's quite unfortunate. It's not been the best start to this race for us. From 6th and 12th on the grid, we are now 14th and 17th, I think, down there.
Yeah. Not really great. Well, I think the positive things of that, our wings are still intact, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think we can still go from on here, but yeah. I think on the incident itself, really, I don't think I could have done much different. There was just 3 wide, and it's always going to happen if someone doesn't back out, really. So yeah, unfortunate. Can happen, but I think the best thing is to move on and see what we can do. You're definitely keeping up with Ram here up ahead, who are, I think it's on similar tires, so he started on fresh soft as well. So.
Yes, I think that is right. So we're skipping on to lap 2 now. Start of lap 2. Still holding on the massive train. It's a humongous train, obviously, with the POV in the bottom left. You can't see exactly the minimap, or at least only some of it, but you can definitely see visibly on the track that is so many cars in a train. The top few have probably pulled away a little bit, as I'm actually going to move to the inside of Ram into turn 8, but Force India sitting on the apex a little bit, which made me a little bit more cautious than others probably would have been, but I'm still side by side actually with Ram into turn 10. That's going to be a tricky one on the outside. Can I get the throttle down? Not quite. I was a little bit scared of Ram actually squeezing me on the curb at that point, so I didn't. I don't know, I probably could have carried a bit more speed around the outside of turn 10, but either way it was always going to be a tough one to pull up, I think.
Yeah, definitely. At least you're holding onto this train. I think that, well, the slipstream is powerful in this game, so as long as you can sit in a slipstream train and benefit from that, and maybe make, I don't know, move occasionally if you can. It's definitely the main aim, really, in the first stint, just to keep up with people, and then move on from there. So we're now skipping to my people. Behind Fugutaro is actually one of the 2 guys who caught up in that incident. Nicky already pitted. He's already 272. That's not good.
You cursed it already. You said the front wings were intact, and well, it's not anymore.
Well, it's at least only yellow, but that's gonna be a humongous pit stop, and we're probably gonna lose, I don't know, maybe a second per lap as well.
You're still gonna pass him though. Although you were a little bit forceful there, I think, than you actually wanted, because you locked up massively into the corner. And yep. So I also well have braked a bit too late, and also lost the template. So
it's quite ironically, it happened within 4 corners for both of us.
Yep. So I don't know. I'm trying to explain that to myself really when it happened, and I think I braked for some reason at the normal braking point, and not really. I kind of forgot that it was slower cars potentially ahead of me. So yeah, that's how it is. Annoying.
Both have to deal probably with 9 or 10 second pit stop.
Yeah, that's the most annoying part.
Yeah, and they probably are gonna lose pretty long time, quite a bit of time, especially you, because you are of course a little bit longer into this than
What is this I'm looking at? You're just pushing this house around the corner. Oh my god. As I'm actually getting dive bomb into turn 8 now by Max again. Obviously trying to get used to this slightly worse downforce with my broken end plate now. And like I said, yeah, I'll have a long first stint ahead of me. I was planning to go 11 laps, I think, on this set, so it's going to be a lot of laps with the damage. But at least for the rest of that lap, I was able to keep within range of Max and actually go for the inside line to try and pass him back here. I'm not sure if he has any damage, but I definitely do, so hopefully he doesn't, so that overtake was a little bit more impressive on the inside of turn 1. So I'm back up to 10th actually, but I think now on lap 5. Have people pitted there at this point? I can't remember.
Some have. I think Laxo from the top 3 went for a huge undercut on lap 4. Not sure why he did that, but I don't think it's beneficial really. But on lap 5, I pitted actually. I'm not actually going to pit 1 lap earlier than I intended to do, because that didn't really plan out. I mean, yeah, tire wear wasn't that much of an issue for both of us, even though it's a high tire wear on this track, but it was for both of us not really such a problem to get our strategy to work, even if we pit a little bit earlier than intended.
And you can see a really long pit stop down there in the corner.
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's around 10 seconds usually, isn't it, with the wing change.
Yeah.
So no, it's quite a deal. 9 seconds actually you had. So they were relatively quick with the wing change, but still you're gonna lose a lot of time to the. Yeah, well, I say to the cars you were around, there wasn't too many cars with you back there, but at least you're going to rejoin ahead of Nicky now on the track. So, yeah, not quite last, at least.
You're actually keeping up quite nicely with Max, who also runs like the exit of turn 10 is going to be an easy position for you. I'm actually surprised how Safso as well on Super Soft is actually even right. I don't... Is that... Yeah, Safso on Super Soft as well. Yeah. So you're keeping up with some people at least for the moment, so it is, you know... Oh, actually now, big jump. You're up into P4 now on lap 11. This is your scheduled pit lap.
Oh yeah, I'm about to pit on this lap actually. Look at my tyre, whereas Massachusetts in the red now is coming out of nowhere. He's been off the track, and there's Nick B, who was the net rate leader, I think, in the first stint. And I'm not going to go 3 wide for some reason, because they both went really wide in the penultimate corner on the exit. So I'm going to try to have a little bit of fun of the inside of both of them into the final corner, even though it's not going to matter too much, because I'm going to now go right into the pits. Don't want Nick on my right side as I go down there. I did say on the voice chat actually to Nick that I was going to go to the pits, so I guess that's why he moved back over to the left, luckily. Otherwise that could have been quite dangerous. So I'm in the pits now, and here you come into the final corner. Are you going to jump actually? Obviously you've had quite a few laps now on these fresher tyres compared to me.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely was, I don't know, at least a second faster per lap probably. Also with you with the wing damage and on all the tyres, so it's not really a surprise that I'm gonna go past you straight away here up into P14, and you're probably gonna rejoin in P15 or even further down.
Yeah, 17 even, so I'm nearly last right now. This wing change has cost me a lot of time, and you can see I've been jumped back from Max to a pass before he went in the pit, so yeah, definitely lost quite a bit.
Actually, RC Fat Racer last at the moment. He started in first. Very unfortunate.
I can't remember really what happened to him, to be honest, or if we even saw it anywhere. But either way, you know, we don't have to worry too much about that. I'm going to worry about Force India though. Again, I'm going to pass Max with a massive DRS effect. I think Nicky also went past him on that straight, so that just shows how powerful the DRS and the slip trim is around here, I guess. That both of us could easily pass Max on the run down to turn 1 in the same straight. And yeah, P13 and 16 in that, I guess, at the moment. Both of us quite far outside the points still, but luckily there's still over half the race to go, and you can at least see some cars over there in the distance to get closer.
Yeah. And to benefit you, you've now on the probably fastest strategy from here on. You're probably one of the fastest cars. I mean, you're gonna have a super soft stint now and then a thing, but you're not actually side by side with Nicky here, going into turn 10 once again. This is actually reminiscent of what you did to Ramdrop, but Nicky not getting the exit Ramdrop actually had, and you're going around the outside into turn 10. What the hell?
Actually pulled it off that time, yeah. Obviously, fresher tyres, as you mentioned, that Nicky, he was on the mediums actually, so he's gone a different route on strategy, having pitted quite a bit earlier. But yeah, still, I'm gonna take that right outside of turn 10. Don't do that too often, so not too bad. As we now skip on to lap 17, so around 12.5 laps to go in the race. I'm behind the man that you had some struggles with earlier in the race for Guitar. I'm going to go up the inside actually of turn 11. That's a relatively straightforward move as well on the brakes, with the DRS helping me out as well. So up to 11th place. Again, at this point of the race, I'm not completely sure what's going on with strategies. I don't think I'm not sure I'm legitimately 11th with all the pit stops have been checking out, because I still have to pit obviously. And you still have to pit soon, I guess, as you're now getting passed by Laxo, who's also much fresher tyres at this point.
Yeah, he actually already made his second pit stop, so he's definitely not going to end it off this time. So he's going for a 3-stop strategy as we're going 3 wide, but there's a Ferrari got out the pits. That's Nicky, and I'm gonna Nicky. It's Nick, not Nicky.
So many Nicks. And that was a bit scary there. Yeah. Oh my word! As he also loses the back end, and now who's that coming up the inside? That is Massa in the Renault, and so both Nick and Laxo have gotten through at least. You don't have to worry about them anymore because they're on different strategies. Safso though is right in front, and now you're getting passed by Massa, who should be able to hold the inside on the soft tires actually. So I guess he probably also had a better strategy. I assume. Has Massa made a second stop?
Yeah, no, he's actually he pitted very late on his medium, so he's now on the second sit. This is also why I was a little bit annoyed, because I lost so much time on these 2 laps behind Zafso, and now Berg is also coming from behind on these much fresher medium tyres. I'm gonna pit this lap anyway, so I let him basically through into the corner, and Zafso pits as well, so I will definitely have to pass him on the track. So hopefully very soon, because I feel like I should be much faster in this last stint now.
Yeah, so you will be going onto the soft tyre, I guess, and I'm going to go briefly past you at least. Obviously, you did jump me on the previous pit stop. I'm going over to P7, but still have to do my final stop. Probably going to wait a few more laps though, because as I said, I'm going to... Obviously, I've done soft on both my first two stints, so I have to go on a different set of tyres, and I'm going to have to go on a super soft on the final stint. As you come back out on the track in 15th, that's quite far down.
At least I was in the points before I pitted, so maybe I think for you it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get points, but I think I am a little bit further up ahead, so I could potentially get some points if I get past Safso here pretty quickly. I need to. And that's a pretty straightforward move. Hopefully now I can break the slipstream pretty quickly to focus on cars ahead and not actually from him behind, only sitting in my slipstream, so at least we are going to prevail that position into turn 4 as well. Yes, we do. And actually, no, that is actually at the end of lap 20. You're still out. You are actually in P6, you can see that down there. And I'm going to set the fastest lap.
Oh, nice one. Not bad. So you're definitely, once you got Safs out of the way, you have the pace of these fresh soft tyres, and you're visibly close to the gap to Kalen a lot in just that lap, really. So hopefully there should be another potential position for you coming up quite soon, as I'm now starting to struggle a bit on tyre wear. As you can see, 58% rear left, and can't remember if this was a lap I planned to pit on, if I was going to go
next up. Yeah.
So you know my strategy better than me, that's right. So here we go, at least. End of lap 21, and you have now caught right up to the back of Kalen, who is on those medium combat tyres. It's only battle for 13th at the moment, but still, you need to make up this position if you want to get into the points, and there we go. Another relatively straightforward DRS overtake, as there was a car in the pits as well, so you're actually going straight up to P12 on that straight, not bad. And the next couple of cars are not far ahead, actually, so you can see the edge of the point scoring positions right over there on the straight.
Yep, and I'm definitely going to gain another position of you when once you pit, and maybe Massa as well, who's on will go on super softs towards the end, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe actually in net points. Max is pretty slow in these things. Decided not to go the inside because he kind of defended that line a little bit.
Yeah.
I also don't want to go side by side into turn 10 really, which is why I'm short shifting here.
Come on.
Trying to overtake.
I went right outside here, you can do it. Although, no, Max is going to hold out. And probably a wiser move actually just to stay behind and get the DRS, since he doesn't have a car immediately ahead of him, which means he will get that advantage. And now it should be nice and easy on the brakes. Pulling up. Got to avoid the oversteer though, which you did by short shifting a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So you're past Max, the man who I had to pass several times in the first part of the race, and now I think I am planning to go into pit. 68% on the rear. Afro is going to go past. He's on also difference, actually already done his final stop. Another car in the pits over there as well. So there we go. And slow it down. And that is indeed Massa, like you said. So Massa also in the pits ahead. Yep. So now you're going to come past. Oh, almost looked like you were going to pit there as well.
No, I'm actually going defensive from Laxo, who I noticed behind, who's on fresh super soft. Now he made his final stop, and I really don't want to battle with him, but at the same time I know he's going to have to struggle with tyre wear towards the end, so I wanted not to let him pass too easily, but he had the better exit out of turn 3. And maybe actually now this is not too bad, because I can maybe sit in the slipstream if he's not ultra quick and pulling away like mad. But you're coming out in the pits in P15, so you definitely got some serious work to do if you want to get any points today.
15th, the position I finished in Australia. Actually, I technically finished 14th in Australia, but there was an AI car ahead of me, so you know that shows how bad it was. But here we go, lap 24. At least I've caught up to the back of Figutaro now in 15th position, because Max has been in the pits, I guess. So yeah, again I have to pass Figutaro, and I think I passed him at this exact spot earlier in the race. I'm going to try and repeat that move on the inside of turn 11 again. And not running too wide on the exit. He's almost looked like he was going to get a bit of his car back alongside, but it's fine through the final sector. So up to 13, still a lot of stuff to do for me to get anywhere near the points, because the gap to the car side were quite big. But you have not got a big gap at all to Nuka, and you're already in the points, and you might look to pick up some more.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, caught Nuka pretty quickly, even though he's on a similar strategy. I think he may have even pitted on the same lap, maybe earlier. I don't even know. But we're going past him, and that is Chicane and Fela battling ahead. So these two guys are definitely on the cars. I think after that it's pretty much done and dusted. But actually, Fugutaro coming back at you into turn 1.
I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all. Obviously, he's on the soft tires. I'm the super soft. I need to push as hard as I possibly can on these tires while they're fresh to get you know, as high up as I can. At least I'm going to pass it back right away, but it's not going to really help for time to have to go with that line into turn 4. But at least I've got the position back, and hopefully I can use the rest of his lap to try and keep him out of DRS range, or at least far enough long or far enough behind to not forget to be passed again, because I don't need that. And especially with Safso up ahead as well, I'd rather pass him than have to worry about Fugitaro once more.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, Safso was the guy who passed at the start of my stint, so yeah. He definitely lost huge amounts of time. Probably maybe had a half spin or something as well along the line. As Federer's going very slowly through that corner. I noticed that some guys were really slow through that corner. We never had issues going flat out through that at any time of the race. Well,
apart from the front wing down.
but yeah, I just noticed that some guys were actually running some different wings or something. Maybe I had a little bit more trouble through there, but anyway, he's now going to get double slipstream, which is not going to help us because we can't really overtake Failer here, and Chicane's probably too far ahead to overtake him as well. As the car coming out of the pit.
This is too close.
It is Ram indeed. It was coming on the super soft tires, only with 4 laps to go. That's a very late stop for Ram there. Yeah. But we can't get past Fugitaro coming back at you again.
Please don't. Just go away, man. I don't need you right now, as I'm going to leave him room on the exit of 2, but again, and Safso, at least I got past Safso then down the straight there, but they're both right over the back of me, and there we go. At least I managed to get it turned into the apex. Stay away, please, Willie lads. I need to push on these tires. There's several seconds up to Massa in 11th ahead of me, so I need to get a move on with now only 3.5 laps to go.
Yep, definitely. You're 2 positions away from that point as we're closing up pretty heavily into that braking zone again. And now Ram, actually, I was hoping that Ram would break Failer's slipstream, because I can't expect to get Ram because he's on ultra fresh super softs. Yeah. You may even go for fastest lap now at this point of the race.
Super softs for Ram, and then mediums for Failer, and softs for you as you nearly push him around that corner again. Jesus.
It's so close. He's really, really close, yeah. Failer definitely not having the best run through these corners, but it seems like Ram is going away. The question now, will Failer have actually... slipstream? Oh, it's getting very close. I not tend to do that quite often this race, to be honest. The question is now, will Failer get DRS? He will get DRS, but we're still closing. He's going defensive. We're still going up the inside because that wasn't half the hearted defensive move, and you know the braking ditch should be P6. And yes, it is.
You don't spin it on the exit. I do not like this exit personally, but you've done a decent job. Although you have to go defensive. Will Failer look to the inside? No, he's going to look at the outside, which is going to be tricky for him, knowing how awesome you are. And there we go. Oh. There we go. You got P6, which, to be honest, I mean, Failer probably will try to get it back, but that's not a bad comeback at all, considering where you were on that one.
No, definitely not. I was actually surprised that I was the... yeah, I was really surprised that in the end it was P6. But, I mean, the race is still not finished, but I was, at this stage, I was a little bit surprised I was that far up again. And we're now skipping on to the last lap. We actually made up a position because Nuka retired. That was really unfortunate, but you can see a train up ahead and maybe some points.
It was not unfortunate that Nuka retired, because now I just need to make one. No. Well, for him maybe, but not for me, because I can see the point right there ahead of me. We got Kalon actually up there. He might have battled a lot in Season 12, but I didn't actually know that was him. Up there, we can see it now. But Chicane and Massa right ahead. I'd need to get past one of them if I want to get any points on the board for this season. Didn't score anything in Australia. Cannot score a point here. Massa though getting the DRS on Chicane. He's probably going to try to go for the move here on the inside of 11. Oh, but he backs out of it. Chicane holding it right outside, and I'm trying to get any part of my car alongside. And there we go, nailing him on the traction zone as Chicane is very slow through that corner as well. Massa still on the outside. I'm briefly at least into the points, and Chicane also again going slow. I'm touching his rear tire there, getting all kinds of overs there. But Massa luckily was not able to take advantage. He had to slow down probably a bit as well. So you got to cross the line in P6 down there, which is an awesome comeback. But can I get Chicane to the line? He's going to be on really worn tires at this point. I'm trying to grab as much slipstream as I can. Please, come on, come on. Ah, I ran out of fuel as well towards the line. Ah, damn it. I had to put it up the rich mix there just to try and give it everything, but not quite enough. But at least I got in the points.
Yes, I think, to be honest, if you just saw our positions after 2 laps, it was probably, we thought, race over, but it was not over. We fought back and we both got points in this race. I think that's pretty decent, to be honest. Pace was definitely good for both of us. And Nick won the race in front of Berg, so it's better basically reversed order from Australia, and championship, here we go.
Yeah, so Nick and Berg is going to be equal on the top, which is looking like a promising championship battle, I have to say. Obviously, no Tirano Tigre anymore in this league. He's taking a break for this season, so looking forward to follow that one. Afro looking good in 3rd, and then it's quite close actually from Marco in 4th there, down to 4 points from 4th, and then you in 9th on 8. Yep. So you're not that far off despite missing the first race.
Yep, definitely. We are up to 8th. Of course, still a lot to play this season. I mean, probably. I mean, I don't think we want to finish 8th in the constructors.
No, I prefer to be a bit higher.
We will do our best, I guess. And well, for the moment, we got 9 points today, which is, I think, considering what our early issues, was really, really decent. And next time out, we will have China.
China. Oh yes.
Oh god.
Oh god. Well, tire wear's gonna be a struggle there. And general, I mean, China's not one of my favorite tracks personally, but again, we'll jump into it, try and do what we can, I guess, and hopefully with less front wing changes.
Oh yeah, definitely. So hope you enjoyed the video, I think, and that's for us. I think, is there anything to add?
No, I don't think so. Just make sure, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you tune in next time for the Chinese Grand Prix. Goodbye.
Bye bye.